This is the University of South Carolina College of Education Anthology Portfolio Tutorial, presented by Clinical Experiences within Gamecock Headquarters. Thank you for serving as an evaluator and/or assessor for a USC teacher candidate. Your work is invaluable to our mission of preparing future educators for entering their own classrooms. This video will provide you with a basic walkthrough of the Anthology portfolio system for entering SETS 4.0 rubric scores, disposition scores, and observed evidence. Anthology Portfolio Access. You can access Anthology at sc.chalkandwire.com. Once you are registered with Anthology Portfolio, you will receive an email with a link that brings you to the login page, as seen here. Dr. Rachel Burns, Director of the Office of Assessment and Accreditation, handles all access and login questions. Assignments to teacher candidates. The clinical placement coordinator for your program will link you to your teacher candidates through Anthology once the semester is underway. You will receive an email alerting you of the assignment. Once you have been assigned teacher candidates, you will be able to log into Anthology and access their assessment tools. Your Anthology dashboard looks similar to this. You can find pending and incomplete assessments here under the Pending Assessments tab. You should find your assigned teacher candidates listed like this. The information listed under Instrument will contain both midterm and final assessments, so please read these carefully to ensure you are completing the appropriate assessment. Clicking on any part of the student listing will show the pop-up menu, seen here. Choose Assess to begin the teacher candidate's assessment. This is what the SETS 4.0 rubric assessment looks like. The scores for each indicator are listed here along the top. You, as the assessor, can click the box that corresponds with the candidate's score for each indicator. Please note that this assessment does require scores from the coaching teacher, the university supervisor, and the consensus scores. Consensus scores should be reached between the coaching teacher and the university supervisor during the midterm and final consensus meetings. When you have entered all scores, scroll back up to the top and click Save and Close. Please be sure that all information is correct before saving, as you will not be able to edit the assessment once it has been published. Important: scoring 1s and 4s. The university does not anticipate teacher candidates will receive scores of 4 exemplary on the SETS 4.0 rubric. A candidate who receives a 4 should be meeting every criteria listed on the rubric every single time they teach, which is not common or expected. Teacher candidates who receive scores of 1 emerging in consensus may need additional program support. The College of Education is now requiring all consensus scores of 4 exemplary and 1 emerging to be accompanied by 3 examples of observed evidence. You do not need to enter evidence for scores of 2 approaching proficient or 3 proficient. Evidence for only the consensus portion should be entered into the comment box beside the corresponding score. You will notice in this example that we are only entering evidence in the consensus section of the assessment tool. This evidence should be actions or tasks you or the coaching teacher have observed the teacher candidate completing in the moment. Some starters for evidence. The best place to find evidence is any notes you or the coaching teacher took during the teacher candidate's observations, as well as the feedback you provided to them during your post conferences. The more specific your examples, the better. For 4 exemplary, try to focus on what the teacher candidate does consistently. For example, candidate went beyond expected duties to blank. Candidate explicitly stated blank. Candidate's lessons always blank. For 1 emerging, try to use constructive phrasing and avoid words like fails or lacks. Candidate struggles with blank. Candidate needs additional support in blank. Candidate could improve blank. Dispositions. The process for entering disposition scores is the same as for the SCTS 4.0 rubric. Evidence is not required. However, teacher candidates who score 1 emerging on the dispositions rubric may need additional intervention or an action plan. Other anthology scores. Some programs may require scores for other assignments or documentation to be entered into Anthology, such as student learning objectives, unit work samples, or portfolios. Processes vary for these depending on the type of assignment, so you may need to reach out to your program coordinator if you have questions. Here are your Gamecock Headquarters contacts: Roy Blakeney, Associate Director, Secondary and Middle Level; Jenna Poole, Early Childhood and Elementary for on campus only; Jess MacArthur, Palmetto College Elementary and K 12 programs. Additional documents, forms, and information are available on the Clinical Experiences document catalog, which can be found at www.tinyurl.com/USC Clinical Experiences Docs. Please don't hesitate to reach out to your coordinator if you have questions or need assistance. Thank you again for serving as a USC assessor and evaluator.